Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy L134 down back with another video. Today's video is a little more stranger video. It's not really what would you say per se? It's not really like we're not really talking about it's not like really any news, nothing like that, right? So basically this is basically me talking about basically the timeline of Fallout and like what really happened in between there and like was 5 years really that long? Did that feel that long? To me right now, from where I'm sitting, the 5 years didn't feel extremely that long. Like I felt like it was long because I wanted Fallout. But as I thought about those 5 years between Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4 weren't really that long. It was 5 years. Heck, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out 4 years after the game before. So I really just kind of kept thinking about it. It's like, was it really that long time ago? Was it really a long time of a development period? For most games nowadays, yes, it is. Because Assassin's Creed comes out every year, except for the most recent one, which took a year off. Great, but for the most part, like Call of Duty and all the other AAA titles, they come out constantly. They come out like every 2 years, every 3 years, whatever. So I was really thinking about it. I was like, wow, this is interesting. Like I didn't really think about this. I didn't really think about like wow, 5 years is really long development time now. Back in the day, probably when gaming first started, like in the 90s, 5 years wasn't that long of a 5 years might have been the average development time because they didn't have 4,000 employees. They didn't have a couple hundred employees working on one game. So I was like more shocked, surprised that I don't feel like 5 years was that long. I went from being I was in fifth grade in elementary school when Fallout New Vegas came out in 2010. I believe. I believe it was correct. Is that correct? I believe I was because I graduated middle school in 2014. 2015 was when I went into high school. Yeah. So yeah. So I went from being, since we had three buildings, well, we have an elementary school, middle school, then a high school. Well, we have multiple middle schools and multiple elementary schools in our city. But, okay, sorry. I went from being in three different buildings for schooling. And I went from not being able to drive to being able to drive, right? So, a lot of things did happen in between there, and I really was thinking, like, wow, there's a lot that went happen on in between. And I really think about it. I was thinking about this as I was driving home from work today. I was like sitting there cruising, and I was just like, because it was late. It's like 11 o'clock when I'm making the video. I got home at like 10:30. I was cruising. I just kind of was thinking to myself, wow. You know, I started my YouTube channel like 4 years ago, beginning of freshman year. And I was like thinking to myself, wow, this is where we've gone. Huh, this is interesting, right? Because I didn't know I was gonna be doing this. I didn't know I'd be doing mod reviews. Honestly, I didn't know I'd be doing anything. I didn't know I'd be a single job. Actually, I didn't really think about it, right? I didn't think I'd be into comic books, but I love comic books now. I'm reading comic books like crazy. I got 4 more comic books over there reading. I'm gonna probably read 2 of them tonight. Boom. But it's just crazy. It's crazy how much goes on in between that 2 time periods in that 5 years. So well, in like 8 years, well, 7 years now, whatever. This has been out for about 3 years now. 2 years. Sorry, 6 years now. 7 years. Holy cow! I can't count. See, but seriously, the time that goes on in between there, I was really into it. I wanted Fallout. I really wanted it. I love Fallout. I love everything about Fallout. I love all the games. I don't, except for anything before 3, which everybody, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. All the hardcore Fallout fans who played the originals are gonna say you're not a true Fallout fan. Not true at all. Okay, if you really love the game that much, you're a true fan. Okay. You know what? I played the original Star Wars Battlefronts. I am a true fan of Star Wars Battlefront, the original ones. And you know, I hate it when when people tell me, well, you know, you're not a true fan of Fallout because you haven't played Fallout 1 and 2 and Brotherhood of Steel. Have you played the knockoff game that they ever made, that the Fallout canceled MMO, huh? Have you played that? No, you haven't. You're not a true Fallout fan. I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all, right? I accept everybody that thinks that they love Fallout. You love Fallout. You just got into Fallout 4, which a lot of people did. A lot of people just bought Fallout 4 and just started getting into it, right? And they love it so much. They go back and play Fallout 3 in New Vegas. I'm like, oh, you're a big fan of Fallout. You know what? That's great. I didn't become a huge fan of Fallout until middle school. Until around 7th grade. Until around like 6th grade. I had Fallout 3. I had Fallout 3 since I was like in 4th grade. Didn't really play it that much. Bought Fallout 4, bought Fallout New Vegas when it came out. Didn't really play it that much either. Started playing in 6th grade. All of a sudden, I was like, oh, I love this game now, right? Because I started getting into it. It takes a lot of skill, effort. It takes a lot of time, right? And I was more of a Call of Duty shooter back then. But, I've been rambling on long enough. But, just so you get to know, a lot's happened, but it hasn't felt like it's been that long. That 5-year period didn't feel that long. I don't know what it is with my mind. I just don't think it's that long. But it is a long time for game development. You don't want to take another 5 years making another Fallout? Totally cool with that, actually. So, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to comment and subscribe for more videos.